Las Vegas. It is another day in paradise, and it is Thursday. Thursday. I like Thursday. So today, let's see, what do we have? We listed 141 homes yesterday. Yes. We put 95 to bed. We closed them. We put 95 under contract, and that gives us 28 days of inventory. Yes. And of that inventory, 752 homes are $475,000 or under. Yes, and 38 of those were listed yesterday. So everybody's working. We have sold 1,257 homes so far this month. Oh, there's a fly in front of me. How did that happen? I didn't think there was flies in Vegas. Anyway, that's 114 so far every day, and which is a wonderful thing. I'm hoping that Jimmy joins us. Good morning, Vicki. Good morning. Good to see everybody today. I know, it's a great day, isn't it? It's going to get hot this weekend, they tell us. So yeah, we're selling 114 homes a day. The interesting thing about that statistic, and this is why I do the trends and show you last year, is what were we doing last year? Well, last year, this time, the first 12 days of May, we were selling 119 homes a day. And if there's a decimal in there, that's about 4.5 less this year that we're selling per day than we were selling last year. And last year, I mean, we were setting the world on fire last year. That was a record year, 50,808 homes we sold. So, and that was ended up by the end of the year being 139 homes a day. So this year so far, our average is 124. So what I do to get the days of inventory is I take that 124, because that's the year-to-date number, and I divide that into the 3,555 total available properties, homes, and that's how I get the 28 days of inventory. And it's almost 29, but I thought, okay, we'll be conservative. We'll keep it at 28. The $1 million homes, oh my gosh, the $1 million homes are selling 5.5 a day. And let's see, let's put this over here for just a second. It says that we have 607 available $1 million homes. So I've been telling y'all that you need to be, of course, out there doing videos, and everybody says, what do I do a video about? So I took like a minute, no, maybe 2 minutes. And I did this to show you what Glenda Baker does. That's not it. Let's see. What Glenda Baker does in Atlanta, Georgia. I think, is this it? This is it. Here it is. Just, help me, Jesus, right? Okay, so what Glenda Baker does, she goes on Zillow, and she gets the highest priced home that just came on the market. So that's what I did this morning. I went into the MLS. I put plus 999 plus in available homes with -1, meaning what was just listed yesterday. And then I sorted them by price, and I came up with this one. I copied the address, and then I went into Zillow. And when I went into Zillow brings the property up. So what you can do is you can do that, and then you can do a screenshot video like I did. I'll play this for you. Now, I didn't talk. I didn't say anything. But normally what you would say is you would give commentary to this. So let me put myself back in the corner here. Oh, here's Jimmy. I knew you were going to show up. Hello. It's so good to see you. I can't hear you. Is there a reason? I can't hear you. Get plugged in. Oh, we love Jimmy. Okay. I can't hear you. Hit your computer. Kick it or something. No volume. Man. Okay, I'm gonna show him. We'll hide him for a minute while he gets together. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and I screenshot this as a video, and I just went through it, and you'll see me go through it here. And so what you can do is add your voiceover to it. And you can say, look at these beautiful, Calcutta marble floors, and look at this shower. Now I'm going quickly because we always run out of daylight here. And I show where it is. It's in the ridges. Then I come over here and I go down, and now I wouldn't go this quickly. I'd be, maybe I'd even have some music behind me, but all that is so easy to do. But this is the first thing you have to learn, is how you do this, because you're going to Zillow. Now, why did I do that? I did that because this is open to the public. So I'm not violating anybody's, rights, so to speak, like other agents and what have you, who has this listed. And what I would probably do, and I would advise you to do it, I'd say Joseph Benson listed this, and he's with the General Realty Group. And congratulations, Joseph, on this beautiful home. And that would be it. And so that's all you have to do. And now you can do that every day. You have content every day. And look at this, everybody. Here's what's really interesting. Let's see. Where is it? Hang on. I think 300 and it's probably at the end of it. Hold on. Let's go to the end. Whoops. Start playing it. Let me move it to the end. I think it says, I can even slowly move it here. 369 people viewed it since it was in the last 12 hours. So, people are interested in these expensive homes. Yeah. So, and you just might get a buyer. And especially if you put this on Facebook and boost it out to California. All these are the way that you make that phone ring. No, I can't find it. Let's see. Is it at the end? No. Oh, there it is. It's. I think that was Jim. I can hear you now. I can hear somebody.
All right. Good.
Okay. Thanks, Kane.
Thank you, Kane.
So, Jimmy, I'm just showing them. I don't know.
I saw it. I could hear you. You just couldn't hear me, but I could hear you. I saw it. It was excellent.
Okay. So in 14 hours, it got 369 views, and it was shared 29 times. So I'm just saying, it took me, I did that. You know how I am. In the morning, I was talking to Jackie thank you, Jackie, for taking me and John to lunch yesterday. By the way, we had so much fun. Anyway, and I said, I create my content the day in the morning. I got up and, and I roll. I figure out what I'm going to talk about and put all this together and everything. So I know everybody else can do it if I can do it, especially at my old age, right?
Well, and how powerful would it be to have a listing a day? Just one listing. Just pick one listing.
Exactly. And it's so easy. And you can read, right? You can read what the agent wrote. And I told them, you always give the agent credit. Right. And it's on Zillow. So you're not violating any of, our ethical, any of our ethics with other agents. We're actually helping them, and we're helping ourselves. So right. If you get known to be like Glenda Baker in Atlanta, and she does this and she gets buyers. She's unbelievable what's happened with her. So anyway, not to digress, but so if you get known to be the $1 million listing person of the day, right, and post it on YouTube, Instagram, do reels, do stories, do your Facebook, and then boost it on Facebook out to California because you have it on your business page. Something's going to happen. But here's what you have to do. This is what I learned from Glenda Baker. Glenda Baker's a star agent in Georgia, and so she says, don't get discouraged. Keep doing it. Just keep doing it and keep doing it, and all of a sudden it's going to grab hold. Because it takes time. It's like a good wine, right? It needs some time. So to mature and to get out there. And once people see that consistency, they start getting business. Hi, Karen. Good morning to you. Oh, Karen, well, you need to get your agents to do this.
I think your audience also builds. You get 5 people on there, and then you have 7, and then and like you said, there was how many shares of this? 29 shares.
29, yeah.
So 29 shares, which means somebody looked at it and said, oh, let me invite you to this thing. And now you picked up 29 more people in your audience that you didn't have before.
Yeah. So, and this can take you less than a half hour. I didn't put any music to it, which you can do. I didn't read the commentary of the overview, which you can do. And I went pretty fast just to show people, how it looks. I wasn't trying to create something to post out there. So it might take you a half hour to put this whole thing together. It took me 5 minutes. really, because I did it at the last 5 minutes before I had to go run and jump in the shower.
Well,
So
not to put more work on your plate, but if you did a short tutorial video that said, here's what I showed on my show, go here first, then here, then here, then here, and then we can dummy test it. I mean, I'll test it. If you put that video together, I'll test it. And if I
okay.
can navigate all the way through with my great tech skills, and I can actually do this once, now we know it's foolproof.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it, Jimmy.
Okay.
I love that. I really do. I love that. Okay,
This
so
is of all the techniques that you've ever showed on the show that I've been here, this one to me makes the most sense because you tell us every day we're selling $4 to $5 million homes a day. If you just got 2 deals a month, just 2 deals, that's once every 15 days. If you're doing this every day, that's not an unrealistic number. And that's like $720,000 gross commission a year. And I'm not making 720. I don't know how many agents are watching the show that are making 720, but I think that's a real possibility with this one strategy. This is it.
yeah, and I just love it. And if you're on TikTok, this works on TikTok too, because Glenda puts it on TikTok. She repurposes it for every platform. And because it's short and sweet and to the point, you don't have to do any video clipping and all that kind of stuff. You just you get it down to your little timer and away you go.
And if I don't like how I look, I never saw any pictures of you on this thread. It was just the property. You're really showcasing the property. You're not telling them how wonderful you are. You're just saying, here's a property. Hey, if you're interested, call me up.
Yes.
So they don't have to worry about getting in their jammies or fixing their hair or whatever. They just do this.
Yeah, and voice over it, of course.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
And and you can put a little picture of yourself right in the video if you want to, one of your high school pictures or however you do it.
If you saw my high school pictures, you wouldn't be using that for an example.
All right. So Jimmy, so we talked about the stats. This is a tip. Now, yesterday, let's see, find this. Yesterday, Penske, this month actually, a couple days ago, Penske came out with the top 10 places people are moving to. And so yesterday I did a little video and tutorial and showed people, and Las Vegas slipped from number 1 to number 2. But the neat thing about this is, and I'm just bringing this up again in case you missed the show yesterday. Oh, good morning, Charla. How are you? Good morning. Good to see you. If you missed the show yesterday, I made a little video of this with a voiceover, and I read what the tips are in here. Like it says, there is 1 slot machine for every 4 Las Vegas residents. Now, people might find that interesting, right?
Yeah.
And what is that one person that you say he's got that saying about don't try to.
The secret to success.
Yeah.
I may not know the secret to success, but the secret to failure is to try to please everyone. So you're not pleasing everyone.
Right.
You're just targeting.
And then it says Las Vegas only gets about 4 inches of rain every year. I love that. And you can talk about that because you might be I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. We had 20 inches. And then due to the lights, Las Vegas is the brightest city in the world. And that's because when they go up in the spaceships, they look down, you can see the lights in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We have more lights than any other city in the world, not just in the United States. So things like this that interest people and that make you people interested in you. It's about being interested in people so that they're interested in what you have to say. So if
you put something like that on there, it's just a fun fact, and people like fun facts: healthy, wealthy, wise, and fun. And so you're hitting all of them.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to bring that up again, and I want to bring that up again because Jimmy, here's what they're telling us. They're telling us this is a survey that Pulsenomics did, and they are saying that in 2022, the homes are going to appreciate 9%. And then they're going to continue appreciating over the next 5 years. Now, if you notice, I put this on here myself, national survey, because I want to tell you, if we're number 2 over here, okay, I think our appreciation numbers are going to be bigger.
I think we're almost already at 9% for this year.
Probably, yeah.
I have to do the math, but I think that's probably where we are. But if let's say we go down to the bottom at 4.74, 5%, if you take a $500,000 house and it appreciates 5%, that's $25,000 you made by buying that house.
There it
is. I
is.
realize your payments are going to be higher, but $96,000, is that over 5 years? Is that what they're figuring?
The potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years based solely on, the increased home equity if you purchase a $360,000 home in January of 2022.
And I don't think rents are done going up. Do you? I don't think rents are done going up.
No, we can't keep. I mean, our rental phone is just ringing off the hook. It's just amazing. I mean, if you've got a 4-bedroom or 5-bedroom house, forget about it. It's gone. And if you have a 3-bedroom house, it's priced right. It's gone too. Mm-hmm. But there's a big demand right now for family homes. I've noticed this spring.
4 and 5 bedroom. 4 and 5 bedrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. So anyway, I'm just saying that I think, Vegas is going to outperform these numbers.
Well, and Houston's only number one because of the job attraction they've had the last year or so. They've attracted a lot of industries, and so people are going where the jobs are. It's not because of the climate. Don't they have hurricanes and stuff in Houston?
Yeah, and it's humid. Oh my gosh, it just drips off of you. Have you been to Houston?
I have been, but I've only been there to visit. I've never lived there.
It's really something.
One of my good friends moved there and moved back. They said, I can't take it. They were there a couple of years. They said, you know what, this weather is it's too sporadic. I'm coming back. They actually ended up moving back to California. They didn't come back to Vegas, but they got out of Houston.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's great that we're ahead of Phoenix. I think a lot of people, remember on our chart, people move back. Yeah. They moved to Phoenix, then they moved to Vegas.
Well, especially when Phoenix has a higher base. Sometimes people move somewhere where their friends are. And Phoenix has more people. Houston only's got about 2.3 million people. I just looked it up. So it's not that they're a bigger city than Las Vegas particularly, but Phoenix is bigger. So that's part of the reason why people go there. All my friends are all there.
Oh, I see. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Now, Jimmy, you know that you and I are in the process, of writing a risk reduction class, and we're almost done, right?
Okay, good.
So I talked about this a little bit this week. But I am going to show you, let's see here, we're going to watch a little video, and I might have showed this yesterday, so you're going to have to sit through it again, everybody. I'm sorry, but it's important. And it's important as a realtor and how you do your business. What would my show be like if I didn't forget to turn my phone off?
Well, it's a good ring. It's a good ring. It reminds us. Just be happy. It just reminds us.
Okay, I'm going to mute you and
Story sparked outrage across the valley. A grandma and single mom scraping to save to buy a home kept out by a squatter.
Law enforcement finally forced an eviction yesterday, but what does the home now look like? Kim Passoff's been following the story. She joins us live now with the update. Kim?
Well, the short answer is just about as bad as
garbage everywhere. There's rotten food everywhere, dirty diapers. Poopy diapers, there's feces, urine all over the house.
What was supposed to be a dream home on Leadville Meadows Drive, price tag $645,000, is now a nightmare for Jen Larson.
So they took a lot of the smoke detectors down throughout the house.
From the unlivable living room to urine-soaked carpets, some things like the toilets are just too gross to show on TV.
I don't know how people live like that. I'm honestly traumatized. I don't know where to begin.
Donna Edmonds says she and her daughter saw what appeared to be a normal home when they first saw it back in February.
We actually came to the open house. We made an offer that day.
The seller accepted. The deed shows the women took ownership on March 4th.
They asked for 7 days to stay to get their things and get the money from the home. So, of course, we were nice and we did that.
When they tried to move in, they say a squatter was there and refused to leave, claiming she had entered into a lease with the seller.
So because she produced a fake lease, we had to go through the whole eviction process, even though you could tell that it was forged by her.
Earlier this month, Fox 5 went to ask a woman and her male companion at the home for their side of the story.
Hi there, are you staying in this home?
No, I'm not.
You're not staying in this home?
No.
Are you just visiting?
Yes, thanks. I don't
Okay,
on camera.
because the people that own this home are saying that people that live here are squatting here.
After 2 months in court, the squatters were just forced out by law enforcement. But this isn't the end.
We're supposed to keep their things for 30 days, but their things are just awful.
We have a dumpster coming on Monday. That was $350 to order that.
The women will now also be paying for professional cleaners, painters, and new carpet. The squatters not paying a dime during their unwelcome stay. The women plan to take the squatters to court, but aren't optimistic they can ever get them to pay.
She doesn't work. She has no money. So, I mean, we can take her to small claims, but it's a matter of, you know, if we can even get anything out of her.
To have this person in there feeling like they were tearing up your home and your hands were tied, there was nothing you could do, was the worst feeling ever.
And the women think that it's going to take another month before they can move in here. They say it's going to take all of that time to remove all the trash and fix the damage that was left behind. Reporting live at Henderson, Kim Passoff, Fox.
So Jimmy, I want to address this is going to be, I'm going to show this in our risk reduction class, because I'm a broker, and you know, I'm also into property management. We have a property management business. When any agent comes to me and says, and this just recently happened, one of our gals said, oh, the seller wants to stay in just 10 days. And there's this form in the MLS. Let's see if that's it. That's not it. Hang on, I got it somewhere here. And it's called, there it is, the post-possession form. And I will not let my agent sign do this form. It does not protect anybody. It does not require insurance. This form, tell me, Jimmy, how do I get the board to not let agents use this form?
You'd have to start with the forms committee.
Okay, because I am going to take this to them. And I saved this today because I knew you'd probably be on today with me, because this is a problem. And so my agent, Mariana, for 10 days did a full lease. And the full lease, as you know, I mean, it protects people. You get their personal information. They have to have tenants insurance. You need to inform the landlord that the new owner, that lady, she needs landlord's insurance, because otherwise, if they walk out with the appliances, she can't get insured for them. There's no provisions for evictions in that post-possession. There is no protections for the new owner in that post-possession 2-page, 1.5 page document. So I'm really, I just want all the agents that are listening to know that you need this lease. I know it's 14 pages, but there's a reason why it's 14 pages, because all parties to a transaction have to be protected. So the people, the selling agent and the buyer's agent on this deal, I hope you have learned something, and that, because we don't want this to happen to anybody else. And now, you know, a lot of times people think, oh, transactions are smooth, I'm not going to have a problem, and then something like this happens. So I am happy to be able to present this in our risk reduction class, because I think this happens a lot, where people don't, oh, they're only going to stay 2 days. I told an agent the other day, I said, one day you do a lease, the place can catch on fire. The tenants can take everything. Anything can happen. They can, and if you don't have a lease, then if they squat and they don't move, you have no rights. That's what happened to this lady. She had no rights because the squatters produced a fake lease, because she didn't get the sellers of that house to do a lease with her, that she was now the new seller. So I'm obviously all up in arms about this. But you need people's information. You need the ability to evict them. And I know this lady says, I was just trying to be nice. Well,
I'm betting that squatter was watching for a moving truck. And when they saw the seller move out, they just came in and took possession. And if you had done a lease and there was a $5,000 security deposit up from the former sellers to let them stay there 1 week, that $5,000 would have covered the paint and some of the carpet and all that stuff. And I don't know who would have been entitled to that $5,000, but somehow in the lease, it's got to say that $5,000 is forfeit if we can't take possession, because that's what happened. There's a $700,000 house, $670,000. $5,000 is not too much to ask for security.
And here's the thing, Jimmy. You know what? You base the security deposit return based on a move out inspection. So if the woman had done the move out inspection to determine how much of that 5,000 perhaps was coming back or not, right? She would have been there, and immediately we tell people change the locks, right? And take possession of the house. And that didn't happen. And this could have been avoided. And I just trying to educate all the agents out there not to let this happen to them, because this is.
Well, two things. Changing the locks is not going to prevent a squatter from moving in, because all they got to do is call a locksmith and show them the driver's license. And the locksmith will change locks for somebody if they ask them to and they pay them. So the changing the locks part is very little protection. The other thing is, I want to say that the risk reduction class, we would have submitted it a couple months ago, except you changed the content of the first hour to make it this. So you revised it based on what's going on in the marketplace. And part of risk reduction criteria is it can be about property management. And here's the point. The listing agent on this house was not a property manager, and the selling agent was not a property manager. So they didn't know about this stuff. So I'm thinking, why do I have to take risk reduction property manager? I'm not a property manager, because you sell houses, and this could happen to you. That's the reason this is so important.
And so many of our houses are investor owned, and investors buy them. And so, it can go both ways for the liabilities. But I am going to get with you to help me get to the right person to get that form off the transaction desk or wherever it is in the MLS, because I've read it and it doesn't protect anybody from anything. It's just kind of like that lady said, I was just trying to be nice. They might have done the post possession. I don't even know if they did that. But anyway, Jimmy, I don't mean to end in a sound of fury, but I have been so upset about this. What's your class about today? Let's talk about something different now.
Okay. It's negotiating techniques. And I have a puzzle that I'm going to pass out this time that I've never passed out before. And it's a series of negotiating strategies, and says, which would you call this? So it's like naming this. Kane doesn't know this yet. So just so you know, I'm going to go. Kane, make sure you send this out to people, and the ones that are in class will get it. But it's an interesting puzzle to see people's brains go to work and say, okay, what technique would I use in this situation? What technique would I use here? And it's a hard test. I don't even give it till the end of class, because if I gave it to them at the beginning, they would just feel like they don't know anything, and that's not good.
No, that's not good. Well, I love this class, and it's not a required CE, but it is 3 CE credits for general. And even if you don't need the CE credits, I think that agents should take this class, Jimmy. This class is so well laid out and so structured that you're such a consummate trainer. You take them from here, and now all of a sudden they start thinking about this, and then this kicks in, and by the end of the class, they get it. They know what they have to do to be a better negotiator. You always impress me.
Thank you, my dear. Well, we'll find out today if I teach them anything, because when we give them the test at the end, we'll see how many people can say, I recognize this. Oh, I know this one. We'll see if the light bulbs come on when we're done with class.
Right. Okay. Everybody, have a beautiful day. Give us a like, give us a comment. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you. And if you are on YouTube, subscribe and get notifications.
Could they forward this to some of their friends? Could they share?
Yes, you can share this. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Karen is saying, Karen is saying, I need to do all my CEs. We're going to bundle them for you, Karen. That's coming out in June. Our bundle system is up and running.
So I'll see you at 10 o'clock.
Yes. Okay. If not before.
Okay. I'm logging out.
Me too.